Hello and welcome to this video preview of Golden Lap from Funselektor Labs, who made the rather awesome Art of Rally. This, however, isn't a hands-on racing game, instead it's a management sim. I've been playing the pre-release demo build of the game, and everything you see here could change, so don't pass judgment on anything just yet. The game starts you off in 1970, choosing from one of 10 teams, and in the demo that's limited to just one choice, each with their own short backstory before you get to pick drivers, mechanic and a crew chief from the simple list that shows you each crew member's respective strengths and weaknesses. You can then pick a sponsor, aiming to complete sponsor objectives to earn more money, and it's quite sweet that the level of money you're earning is in the single digits to start with. It doesn't take long at all before you're qualifying for the first race, and the game's presentation is revealed. It's minimalistic, with a top-down map of the track, and each driver represented by a coloured circle with their car number on it. They don't have real driver names, although I did notice a certain Starship captain who seems to have taken up a career in motorsport. Make it so indeed. The management complexity at this stage of development is not as deep as that of the official F1 Manager series, but it does have a different and interesting way of doing things. For instance, you'd think that in qualifying, you should choose your moment to go out on the track, gauging the amount of rubber laid down, which is shown here, as well as how wet the track surface is, which is also shown here. While the latter in particular does have an effect on qualifying times, there's another game at work here, one of chance, or at least considered management of chance. In each qualifying session, you get a certain number of yellow circles to spend on tuning your car after each run. Complete a racing lap and these refill, and seeing as there's no limit on tyres used, at least in this 1970s era of which the demo comprises, that means you can just keep going out, then returning to the pits and tuning your car. The numbers here relate to the potential gains on your stats, while the number of yellow dots is the cost of trying for each one. So you could spend more dots on potentially getting some 18 performance points, or spend less knowing that you're more likely to get the smaller number on offer. When you reach the end of the performance bar, as the session progresses, there's a small chance you'll bust, which takes your bar into the red, losing a bunch of points, meaning you have to fill the bar again. Get it into the yellow, and the bar fills up completely and stays filled up. The aim, therefore, is to get as close to doing this with all 3 bars as possible, and then post your qualifying lap. The times that the drivers set have yet to be balanced, which is a known issue of this early build, so while I've reached pole position a couple of times, the times themselves should be sorted out for the final game. They're a little bit irregular in this unfinished state. So, a neat element of risk and reward. After that, you're into the race. Before it starts, you have to choose which tyre compound you're going to start on. Unlike the F1 cars of yesteryear, starting on hard tyres will not mean you can go the entire race without stopping, instead allowing for 2 or 3 stop strategies. You'll need to manage 3 levels of fuel consumption, and currently there's no way to change the level of fuel you start with, and 3 levels of aggression in terms of tyre wear. So you can choose to go long on hard tyres, or absolutely cane it on softs, hoping that track position will give you the edge by the time the pit stops roll around. Influencing your strategy are yellow flags, which are basically safety car periods, allowing for cheaper pit stops, and red flags, where the race is stopped and everyone can change tyres for free. Surprisingly, some tracks carry a higher chance of a fatality when a crash happens, though I haven't seen that happen yet. Quite how that will be handled will be very interesting. You can click on a driver's dot as it moves around, or just click on their name on the left-hand side to zoom into the action. There's no more actual detail when you do this, so you never actually see cars side by side, instead they simply overlap each other. That is one element that I think probably needs some work, as there doesn't seem to be any way of asking your driver to drive defensively at present, so there's no way to hold someone back, which means the fastest strategy will always be the best strategy, rather than deliberately going slow to conserve fuel, knowing you're holding everyone else up and spoiling their race. Your teammates do squabble with one another and ask you to decide whether they should fight or accept team orders, but it happens too frequently at present no matter what you decide, so again, something to tweak. Aside from the aforementioned levels of fuel and tyre aggression and deciding when to pit, there isn't actually much else to do. The action can be accelerated up to 8 times normal speed, so even races with lots of laps can be over in a few minutes. Then it's back to the garage to tinker with the car, spending your advertisers' bonuses on repairs and enhancements. Staff have stats for their age, or rather what stage of their career they're at, and drivers can be changed at the end of each season. They're also randomly affected by parties the night before, or waking up feeling particularly energised. Drivers' own specs come into play when it comes to not feeling great about lap times, and there are also perks applied to the whole team depending on your crew chief, which is a nice touch, but it doesn't feel as obvious as the perks in, say, New Star GP, though I appreciate that isn't a management sim. Personally, management sims have never really excited me as much as doing the driving myself, but I have really enjoyed my time with this pre-release demo of Golden Lap. I find myself looking at the clock thinking, yeah, I can squeeze one more race in before I have to leave, which is a very good sign. I'm not sure the presentation style is friendly enough at present, as it hasn't got the charm of the studio's own Art of Rally, nor the enhanced level of humour of New Star GP, which I keep using as an example because I think New Star GP is superb and not enough people are talking about it. But there is still some humour here, and it's charming enough to play, and should offer a good challenge when it's finished and balanced properly. The framework is definitely in place for an absorbing and addictive experience, so I do recommend you keep this on your radar. If you fancy playing the game yourself, the demo is available now as part of the Steam Next Fest, which runs from the 6th to the 17th of June. I hope to have a review for you at some point in the future, but for now, please take a look around my channel for more videos, including this YouTube short on the left of the most amazing final race of the championship in New Star GP. I also have more gaming videos, original music and cover songs, as well as plenty more, so please take a look around, you're more than welcome. Take care until next time, see you then. Cheers.